My name's Sheehan. I'm an occupational therapist. I've been working within the profession for 31 years. I'm a passionate believer that we need to stay within the core elements of our profession and put the client at the centre and work to the client's goals, not necessarily the service provision. Now I'd like to talk to you about the legal duties that support the need for supported bathing. Occupational therapists need to understand the legal aspects of legislation and how it impacts on our practice, but also enables us to advocate for our clients. There have been considerable changes in legislation over the last few years, including the Care Act, Children and Families Act 2014, and the repeal of some of the existing legislation that has been historically used to provide services and equipment provision for children with disabilities. So the key pieces of legislation that support bathing are the Children's Act of 1989, the Children and Families Act of 2014, the Chronically Sick and Disabled Persons Act of 1970, Housing Grants, Construction and Regeneration Act of 1996 and the Care Act of 2014. So let's start at the beginning. The Children's Act of 1989 outlines a range of services which can be provided within paragraph 6 of the schedule. This requires local authorities to provide services to minimise the effect of disabled children of their disabilities and give these children the opportunities to lead lives which are as normal as possible. Is bathing normal in the UK? Of course it is. Section 17 states that children shall be taken to be children in need if they are disabled. So Section 17 is really key for funding. It provides for the assistance of children in need, which includes disabled children, and this could include the funding of essential equipment and adaptations. Therefore, if we just put it succinctly, no child should be disadvantaged by their disability, or their sibling shouldn't be disadvantaged by their disability. Therefore, if you remove a bath and install a shower and other siblings are being affected, are you actually working within the guidance of the Act? Section 11 of the Children's Act 2004 places a duty on key persons and bodies to make arrangements to ensure that in discharging their functions, they have regard to the need to the safeguard and promoting of the welfare of the child. If we look at welfare, a child's welfare is about everything they do within their lives. And if we're taking away one element of it, which is critical to learning, then we are not promoting the welfare of the child. The Chronically Sick and Disabled Persons Act. Although repealed for adults, it's still in place for children up to the age of 18. And please don't forget this Act. Section 1 requires social services to identify people with disabilities, to assess their needs and inform them of the services that they may be able to provide. Section 2 makes arrangements for the provision of assistance for that person, and that can include works of adaptation around their home and provisional of any additional facilities designed to secure the greater safer comfort or convenience. And again, this is really critical when it comes to bathing and can be used to support assistive bathing, because not only does it support the child, it also supports the caregiver. The Housing Grants, Construction and Regeneration Act 1996 delivered us the Disabled Facilities Grant. This is a mandatory grant, which means that the local authority has a duty to provide a grant over and above any other non-mandatory council activity. In theory, they should never say they've run out of money. In practice, they often do, but they shouldn't. The DFG has 12 specific areas in legislation clearly defining where the assistance can be sought to adapt the home. And there was an additional one added in 2008. Section 11 of the Children's Act 2004 places a duty on key persons and bodies to make arrangements to ensure that in discharging their function, they have a regard to the needs and safeguard and promote the welfare of a child. The 12 specific areas in the legislation clearly define the areas where assistance can be sought to adapt clients' homes. Chapter 53, Part 1, plus another amendment in 2008 clearly define what can be facilitated for your clients. So let's look specifically at the areas around bathing. So we're on Chapter 53, Part 1, Part F. It states facilitating access by the disabled occupant to or providing for the disabled occupant a room which there is a bath or a shower or both, or facilitating the use of the disabled occupant of such a facility. So let's just look at that in detail. We have bath or shower or both. So when a local authority says to you, we only shower, they are actually going against the legal duties as set down by the Act. So if you can clearly clinically reason why a bath is essential for your individual client, there is no reason why it should be turned down. There are times when you may need both, when there is something like double incontinence, where you actually want to clean somebody off first before bathing, but no child should be restricted from bathing based on the fact that it's only a shower. So the Children and Families Act 2014, Part 3, Section 25, states a local authority must promote the well-being of a child or young person in the area who has a disability. It then goes on to clearly define specific areas: physical and mental health and emotional well-being, control by them over their day-to-day lives, domestic, family and personal relationships. All of the above specific points can be related clearly to bathing. So let's look at it from a different angle, from the carers angle. We now have the Care Act 2014. It really has raised the profile of carers and their valuable role within supporting children and adults with health and well-being. As of April 2015, carers will be entitled to an assessment where they appear to have needs, which matches the rights of the person that they are caring for. Also, as of April 2015, carers will be entitled to support if they meet the eligibility criteria. It's important to assess the individual needs of the carer and take into account that for mum or dad, bathing may be easier than showering, and put less pressure on them with moving and handling and hands-on care.